It's a masterpiece of engineering. A work of art that flies down the road at 253 miles an hour. Part airplane, part automobile. A rare combination of sculpture and speed. Only 300 will ever be built. Base price, without options, $1,750,000. It's the Bugatti Veyron, and it's unlike any car ever made. Hand assembly actually starts with hand delivery of engine parts. Parts carried inside custom padded cases as if they were fine jewelry. Parts machined out of solid titanium, a material you would expect to find in an airplane and not in a car.
One thing which we share with airplanes is that we use the same material. There has been used titanium where other manufacturers use steel.
Every bolt is tightened by hand. And then checked by computers. It takes a full week to assemble one engine. Building the Veyron engine pushes technology to the limits. In 2001, at a tiny workshop in Wolfsburg, Germany, workers run the engine at full throttle for the very first time. No one really knows what will happen.
This location is a little bit the historic site because this location we reached at first the 1001 horsepower.
But the 1001 horsepower number isn't really true. The engine actually produces 3,000 horsepower. 2/3 of that energy is heat. When the engine first runs at full power, it nearly burns down the building.
Just feel the acceleration performance without any interruption, without any stop. It never stops.
The transmission shifts in about 150 milliseconds, which is just the same as a blink of your eye.
The Veyron's brakes work at temperatures as high as 1800 degrees Fahrenheit. Normal car brakes stop working at 1300 degrees. Stopping a car that's traveling at nearly 1/3 the speed of sound. The Bugatti Veyron can stop faster than any production car in the world. That's because the Veyron actually has 2 different braking systems built into the car.
We have the mechanical brakes to the wheels, but we have also an air brake.
At speeds above 125 miles an hour, hit the brake pedal and the Veyron's rear wing shoots up to a 55-degree angle. Together, the wing and the disc brakes have a total braking force equal to almost twice the force of gravity. The Veyron takes less than 10 seconds to go from its top speed of 253 miles an hour to a complete stop. No other car made has brakes that can do that, or even come close.
2.5 seconds, it needs to accelerate to 100k, and in 2.2 seconds it already has stopped down to 0, which is a very impressive number, I think. It's amazing. 5 seconds, the whole thing.
Even more amazing is how the power of the brakes dwarf the power of the Veyron's huge engine.
Deceleration takes about 4,000 horsepower to brake the car from top speed down to 0.
The Veyron's rear wing helps braking. Lowered, it adds stability to high-speed runs. the rear wing is a critical part of the Bugatti Veyron. But to control the wing means creating something so fast, its speed is almost unimaginable. Speed measured in picoseconds, 1,000 billionth of a second, about 100 miles northwest of Frankfurt. It's here where they build a remarkably tiny sensor unit for the Veyron's rear wing.
It is the fastest piece in that car.
The sensor measures the time it takes a pulse of light to travel down a wire, hit a magnet, and reflect back as an ultrasonic sound wave.
The sensor performance has to be not only correct, but also has to be quick enough that the computer system in the car can execute the right angles on the wing as needed.
For normal driving, the wing is retracted. Hit 136 miles an hour, and the wing pops up to a 15-degree angle. For high-speed runs above 230 miles an hour, the wing retracts to just 2 degrees. And for high-speed stops, the wing hits 55 degrees in 0.4 of a second. The Veyron adjusts its aerodynamic configurations on the fly. Without the tiny sensor in the wing, the car would never be stable enough at 253 miles an hour. And it would be even worse if it did go that fast. Without the tiny sensor in the rear wing, the car could never safely brake from that speed.
Without the sensor controlling the wing and the computer knowing the information on the wing and varying the angles on the wing, they would not have been able to do that.
Hegemon Aerospace. Hegemon Aerospace builds 150 sub-assemblies for the Veyron, including the rear and front frames for the car. They construct the rear frame out of high-strength aircraft-grade stainless steel. It takes a lot of time, and that's one reason the rear frame is one of the most complicated and expensive parts of the entire car.
It takes around about 80 to 90 hour handcraft work to produce this single part here.
Hegemon Aerospace also manufactures the Veyron's fuel tank. Part airplane, part automobile. Both come together where the rubber meets the road. Until the Veyron, no one had ever made a production car tire that could be used at speeds over 250 miles an hour. Without finding a way to make that tire, the Bugatti Veyron would never hit its target, a top speed of 253 miles an hour.
At the end, one of the key points was the tires.
Tires that would be developed here at the Michelin Research and Test Facility. Michelin offers 2 different designs, one for the road, one for the track. Bugatti pushes for one tire that could do both.
So we need to develop brand new tires, a new tire.
The Veyron tires are huge, almost 14.5 inches wide on the rear wheels. That's nearly twice as wide as a normal passenger car tire. They make each Veyron tire by rolling multiple layers of rubber onto a drum.
A standard passenger car tire took almost 30 seconds to be built. This one needs more than 1 hour. This is a really handmade tire.
Each layer must be perfectly aligned, checked with laser beams and a microscope. One more combination of car and aerospace technology.
For this tire, we have to put in place very severe control that will meet or exceed the quality standard of an aircraft tire.
The most extraordinary automobile test facilities ever built sits in the woods outside Wolfsburg, Germany. Protected by barbed wire on top of chain link fences. It's Volkswagen's super secret test facility in Air-les-Cygnes. What happens here stays here.
It is not allowed that airplanes cross the proving ground. I think it's necessary to keep these secrets really secret.
Inside the gates sit 60 miles of private roads, including a high-speed oval track with a straightaway over 5 miles long. Here the Veyron is only using 280 horsepower. It needs its remaining 721 horsepower to reach its top speed. When the car comes out of the banked curve and onto the straightaway, you floor it and hang on.
Warm up everything properly and then go to the curve, and then after that, the next straight, you do it.
At 253 miles an hour, the Veyron covers more than an NFL football field in 1 second. That's more than 4 miles in 1 minute. At max power, its turbochargers suck in the same amount of air in 1 minute that the driver would use to breathe for 4 days. At top speed, the Veyron gets 3 miles to the gallon. At that rate, its 26-gallon fuel tank runs dry in 12 minutes.